Welcome back to my channel. I am super excited that you came back to watch another week video. While I'm in the kitchen just whipping up some cookies and making dinner for this video, I'd really like to talk about being a stay-at-home mom and a housewife. And yes, there is a difference. There is a very fine line between the difference of a stay-at-home mom and a housewife, but there is a difference. A stay-at-home mom, her focus is the kids, and that's it. Her focus is the kids and doing a little bit of chores here and there throughout the day just to keep up with the house. But when her husband comes home, she expects him to do his part and chip in. Now, a housewife focuses on everything: the house, the kids, the chores, everything. And most of the time with a traditional housewife, everything will be done before the husband even gets off of work. I feel like I am somewhere in the middle. I try my best to get everything done before my husband gets home from work. I do a lot of baking, a lot of homemaking, and everything else while trying to take care of my 5 small children. If you don't know me, I do have 5 kids, 5 and under. And as a stay-at-home mom and or housewife, I get a lot of hate on social media, and I don't really understand why. When back in the day when our grandparents' parents were taking care of them, that's what the mother did. They stayed home. They did all the housework. They, took care of everything while their husband was at work, and they weren't looked down upon. But now in this day and age, you're looked down upon for not contributing to the household when it comes to money. But honestly, a stay-at-home mom or a housewife is contributing way more than you think they are. I mean, you pay someone to bake, you pay someone to cook, you pay someone to watch your kids, you pay someone to clean your home, you pay someone to do your laundry, you pay a chauffeur. So why are all those things looked at as a job? But when a woman stays home and decides to do it for her own family, it's no longer a job, and she's just lazy and a moocher because she's not contributing to the household when it comes to bringing home a paycheck. When in reality, she is saving so much money. My husband and I, before I decided to become a stay-at-home mom, sat down and talked about childcare and things like that. And honestly, it would cost more for us to put our children in childcare for me to get a job than it would if I just stayed home. If I worked, my paycheck plus a little bit of his paycheck would go to childcare, and that is outrageous. So with me staying home, we actually save money. I guess a lot of people don't truly understand that and don't look at it that way when it comes to seeing a stay-at-home mom. All they see is someone who's lazy and doesn't want to work and just wants to be provided for. So me as a housewife, I definitely considered myself on the housewife side of things. I'm definitely not lazy. I mean, any mom isn't lazy. Working, stay at home, housewife, whatever you are, whatever type of mom you are, none of us are lazy. And for some reason, society has this lazy mentality based around stay-at-home moms simply because they stay home. They feel like they don't do anything. They, I guess, think that all we do is sit on the couch all day watching TV, letting our kids run rampant. Now, don't get me wrong. There are days that I do not do anything because I just don't feel like it. I do not feel like cooking. I don't feel like baking. And guess what? That's okay. We are human. We are still a human being. Now remember, we are a human being taking care of littler human beings, which is hard all by itself. Now add on top of making things from scratch and trying to keep those little humans entertained and everything else. This job because that's what it is. A stay-at-home mom or a housewife is a job. It is very hard. There has been a lot of studies that have come out saying that stay-at-home mom jobs are essentially 20 jobs all together, all in one. We are not a burden to society, I guess, is what I am trying to get at. If anything, we are helping our husbands by staying home, because we're saving him money to be able to stay home, even though he is not, or we are not bringing home a paycheck. That's how you have to look at it. We are saving so much money by sacrificing ourselves, because that's exactly what we are doing. We are sacrificing our time, because a stay-at-home mom does not get time off. She does not get sick days. She is on the clock 24/7. Any mom is, really. Honestly, I've talked to a couple of working moms that have also been a stay-at-home mom, and they would rather work. They feel like going to work is an actual break. That's what they've said. Now, I have been a working mom, but I had the luxury to be able to bring my baby to work with me, and I only worked when I had one kiddo, and he was really small. And once I got pregnant with my second oldest, that's when we decided that I was just going to quit work and be home. And I've been home for almost 4 years, and it's been a lot of sacrifices. It's been a lot of self-sacrifices. It's been hard. There are so many ups and downs when it comes to staying home that I guess a lot of people forget about. They forget about the overstimulation. They forget about the mental load of trying to remember to try to get everything done that needed to get done that day, and grocery shopping and kids appointments and everything else. And while a working mom does do all of these things, like I've said, I've talked to working moms that have been stay-at-home moms. So while working moms also do all of these things, they, like I said, they still get a break. While we stay-at-home moms, we're home all day long, doing this all day, every day, nonstop. And please do not take offense to any of what I'm saying. I am not trying to I'm not trying to be offensive. I'm just trying to help others understand exactly what it is like to be a stay-at-home mom, because like I said, I get a lot of hate. I get so much hate around being a stay-at-home mom or being a traditional housewife. I actually got a comment saying that all my husband does is control me because I'm a traditional housewife and I'm not an independent woman, and I have no independence and everything like that. And while that's sort of true to a point, I mean, I still have my independence to a point. I mean, I am a mom, so I'm depended on. So I guess I don't really know what that commenter was trying to get at, but I still feel pretty independent. My husband doesn't control me. He doesn't control what I do. If anything, I control everything. I control what we eat. I control what we drink. I control the groceries. Even though he brings home the paycheck, I control where the money goes, because I'm the one paying the bills. I'm the one doing the budgeting and figuring out what needs to get paid when. All he does is go to work and makes some money, and the paycheck gets deposited into our bank account, and then I'm like, okay, this is how much we have to spend. So if anything, I'm the one that's controlling the whole situation here, not him. And I don't understand where she was even coming from at that point. Anyways, let's take a little break. I want to tell you guys what I am making. I'm making some homemade chocolate chip cookies. I saw someone else on social media making cookies, and I was like, ooh, that's a good idea. I'm going to make some cookies. So I'm making some homemade chocolate chip cookies. In the clips before, I started some dough for biscuits for dinner. And for dinner, we're just having some meatloaf and butternut squash that I got from my grandparents' garden that we really needed to get eaten. I really need to make it and get and eat it up. And what else did I make? I think that was it. But dinner turned out really good. You'll be able to see dinner at the end. I do not have an ending to the cookies, but this recipe was definitely a saver. My cookies, for some reason, every time I make them, they come out really, really hard. And this recipe was amazing. They came out super soft. If I'm able to, I'll link the recipe to the cookies below in the description. So if you want this cookie recipe, you can go get it from the description. I got my recipe off of Pinterest. I honestly, that's where I get all my recipes. I get everything from Pinterest. Pinterest is my go-to like cookbook. I have a couple of cookbooks, but honestly, I never flip through them because I'm very picture oriented. And the cookbooks that I have, a lot of the recipes don't have pictures. And when I'm flipping through them, I just look for pictures. I don't really read the recipe itself. So I look through, the pictures and pick out things, how they look off of the picture. And yeah, I don't have very many cookbooks that have actual pictures in them, so I don't really use them. I do want to thank everybody that has subscribed to me so far. My YouTube is growing and I'm super excited. I am super excited to be able to start monetizing my social media and being able to help out with the bills. Because honestly, even though I do not mind staying home, it does make me feel guilty that I don't make any money. And I feel like a lot of, stay-at-home moms and housewives feel the same. They feel guilty for not bringing home any money. And honestly, how I've gotten past that throughout the years, I look at it as he's paying me to do my job. Granted, it's very, very, very underpaid. Because you'd have to look up, see how much a stay-at-home mom would actually make. But if stay-at-home moms got paid, we would be pretty much rich, honestly. So being able to monetize my social media has seriously been a blessing. I monetize my TikTok and my Facebook. Granted, a couple of you guys ask how much I get off of my social media. It's not very much. It is not very much, but I am trying super hard to be able to bring enough in to be able to go do the things that we want to do. Most of hubby's paycheck goes to bills, and that's honestly just the world we live in at this point. I know a lot of you guys struggle the same way that we do. And I would like it to be able to get to where we're not struggling as hard. And if I wanted to go take the kids to the water park, we could, because we would have the money to be able to go take the kids to the water park, or, go drive to the zoo and go spend $100 to go to the zoo. I don't know if it's $100. I think it's actually more than that. The zoo is actually an hour and a half away from us. But that's something I really want to do, and social media is going to be able to help me do that. So I wanted to thank you guys for giving me a follow and interacting with my posts over here, over on my other social medias. And you guys, y'all are making this possible. You're making me be able to stay home and make money possible. So thank you. Okay, back to talking about stay-at-home mom and housewives. I just want to say that you guys are rock stars. Actually, I want to say all moms are rock stars. All stay-at-home parents are rock stars, because there are dads that stay home while their wife works. And oh my gosh, that's a completely different subject. The amount of hate stay-at-home dads get is absolutely crazy on social media. I can't believe how many people, I can't believe just how many people hate on the people that, the parents that decide to stay home, put their careers on pause, stay home and raise their children. And honestly, working moms get a lot of hate too. I will say that I've seen some working moms that I'm friends with get a lot of hate for putting their child in daycare or doing what's best for their family. And I don't understand. I truly don't understand. A lot of stay-at-home moms that go back to work, literally go back to work for themselves. Honestly, I've talked to a couple that just said that they couldn't take the mental load of being a stay-at-home mother, so they decided to take a break and go back to work 1 to 2 to 3 days a week. And the amount of hate that they get is just outrageous. I truly don't understand why we can't just support each other. Why does everything have to feel like a competition? And that's what it feels like. Everything's a competition. Are you a better stay-at-home mom than I do? I do this, but you can't do that. Or just like, I bake, but you don't bake. You must be lazy. Like, what? Why? Why are we doing this? Why can't we just support each other? Everybody is just trying to do what they can do and do what is best for their family. If you don't bake, you don't bake. That's fine. It's totally fine. If you eat out because that's what you can mentally handle, okay. I really like baking. I've recently discovered that I seriously like baking. I've also started a garden, and it's mostly because things are getting expensive. And being able to have these skills to make things from scratch, to grow our own food, is going to save us so much money once I figure out how to do it. I just started my garden this year. If you guys are just starting to follow me, I actually just started my garden. I have not produced any fruit yet, which is kind of discouraging. I started my plants from seeds though, so I think it is going to take a little while. I'm hoping to get some fall vegetables and whatever's supposed to grow in fall planted here soon. I ordered some garden beds off of Amazon, and hopefully we'll be able to get some dirt and get that stuff set up. I will hopefully have that in our next video. That's the plan anyways. I don't know if it will actually happen. Dirt is sort of expensive, and I've had a lot of people tell me, well, why can't you just plant like right into the ground? Honestly, we are currently renting. I don't really want to ruin the yard, if that makes sense, by trying to plant in the grounds. So that's why I chose to do the raised garden beds and just probably put some like paper bags down to help with the weed control and fill it in with some dirt and do things that way. I also need some good suggestions on pest control for my plants. My pepper plant is just getting eaten up by whatever likes eating pepper leaves. The pepper plant isn't actually producing anything. It's just the leaves are getting eaten up. The tomato plant is producing flowers but not producing fruit, and I don't understand exactly why it's not producing anything. I think maybe something is eating them, but it's not even going to even a little tomato. So I need some suggestions with that and help keep the bugs down. I am in South Carolina, if that makes any difference of what kind of bugs are around. But I will keep you guys updated. If you follow me on my other social medias like Facebook and TikTok and Instagram, I do post a little bit more about my garden over there and a little bit more often. I get a lot of people wanting updates, so I post at least weekly updates over there if you want to stay up to date and watch my planting journey, because this is the first time, like I said, the first year I've ever done this. And I do have a brown thumb. I do not have a green thumb, but I guess my green thumb or my brown thumb is turning green because I'm doing pretty good when it comes to doing these things. So, oh, here is that dough for the biscuits. I'm just going to roll it out and cut the dough into strips and fold the dough over onto itself to create a really good biscuit. Now, these biscuits, they came out tasting a little yeasty. I think I put too much flour in them. I'm not sure. Also, if you bake a lot, use oil when working with your dough instead of flour. It does a lot better job at making it not stick to anything. I use oil on my hands, I use oil on the counter, I use oil on the rolling pin, everything. Oil is the way to go. I like it way better than flour because now you don't have a giant powdery mess everywhere. Oil is sort of easy to contain and kind of easy to clean up. So just a little baking tip there. Anyways, we are coming to the end of the video. I hope you guys like this week's video. I will try to get back to decluttering. I haven't had the motivation to do it, and honestly, I don't want to do it. I tend to do that. I'll take a month break of decluttering and then I'll come right back to it, right where I left off, and just start doing it again, or repeat a room that I had already done when I know there's things in there that we haven't used. And that's pretty much my decluttering journey. I've been trying to declutter for 7 months and it still feels like we have a bunch of stuff, but at the same time, we're also a family of 7 in a sort of small house. So there's a bunch of us and not enough storage, honestly. Anyways, I hope you guys have a really good week, and I will see you back next week, hopefully with a gardening video of me setting up the garden beds and everything else. If not, I will more than likely have another baking video for you guys because I don't think I'll have the motivation to declutter anytime soon. I sort of am just over it at this point because it feels like every time I try to declutter something, it just gets messed back up and it grows. It feels like, even though I'm getting rid of things, it feels like the mess is constantly growing. But honestly, that's what it's like having children, and you gotta embrace the mess when you have kids. So I hope you guys like the video. Let me know in the comments if you have any questions or anything you want to add about being a stay-at-home mom, or if you are a working mom. I would love to hear sort of your side of things, because like I said, I'm not and have never been a working mom. I've always been a stay-at-home mom, so I don't really know that side of things. And I do have, like I said, I do have friends who are working parents, and they've told me their side of things, and I wish people would just get along. I really wish people would just love each other, support each other, and no matter what their decision is on how they want to raise their family or do things for their family, just either, if you don't like it, like, mind your own business if you don't like it. If you do like it, okay, come join the party, a sort of deal. Or, I don't know, people need to cool it. They need to calm down. It's not that serious. The amounts of hate and everything on moms, it's really not that serious. It's okay to do what's best for your family. It's okay to go to work if that's what you need to do. It's okay to stay home if that's what you choose to do. It's okay. It's okay. Everything is okay. Anyways, hope you guys have a really great week, and I'm about to show you what dinner looked like. This meatloaf came out really, really good. I sort of just threw things together in a bowl. I didn't really measure anything, so I can't give you the recipe for it, but just know that it did come out absolutely delicious. I used barbecue sauce instead of ketchup, so it was more or less a barbecue meatloaf, but it was absolutely delicious. And here's dinner: butternut squash, meatloaf, and the biscuits. All right, guys, see you later.